All right, this is the online tutorial for the Hemut card game. So as you can see, I've already completed the board game section, and now we're going on to a little tutorial for the card game. All right, so this is turn one. As you can see up here, you'll see your mission card is your first card in your hand. You can put it in the play area and it'll immediately pop up into the mission card area. So you can hover your mouse above that, and then over here you can see what your mission is. So you're waging war for King Scorpion the First, and your mission card says spend 3 resources to replace with expand Scorpion the First's kingdom. When played, draw a card. So that just means that a card comes out of your deck into your hand. All right, so you can also put Blessing of Isis up here. And it says, when this is played, draw 3 cards. This card is exiled at the end of its turn. Exile just means that it goes away and can't be played again. Over here is the market where you can buy more cards for your deck. Now, a reason you might want to have more cards is that your deck is bigger, so each of your turns is a little bit longer, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later. So we're going to put some resources up here. Each of these, when you play it, you gain 1 resource, which is tracked down here. You can also play the merchant, and for the merchant is a persistent card, which means it stays up here in your play area. And at the beginning of your turn, you gain 1 resource. So each time you start a new turn, you gain 1 more resource. The warrior. So this is another fun card where when you play it, you gain 1 resource and 1 influence. And influence is tracked right here next to the resources under the market. For the priest, when you play it, you discard a card. So it comes up with this option. And so I'm going to discard the other priest. Now this is different from exiling a card. It just means it goes into your discard pile, and you draw another card from your deck, which in this case is the warrior, so 1 resource and 1 influence. This burial pit is another card. So when you play it, you exile a card from your discard pile. The discard pile is this over here. Exiling it means it goes away forever, but you gain +2 influence for that. Now you don't have to, each time you play the burial pit card, you don't have to do any of that. You don't have to exile a card. But it can be helpful for when you're really trying to boost your influence. So that means, so the mission card says we're going to spend 3 resources to replace the mission card. So as you can see, we have 4 resources. So we can spend those 3 resources, and it'll give us a new mission that you can just see the bar moving along the bottom. And the new mission is spend 4 resources to replace card. So we have 1 resource left, and with that we can buy another resource card to build our deck even further. So we're going to end the turn. We get more cards from the deck. We have 5 remaining and 7 in our discard pile. So we're going to play the resource, play the warrior, play the other resource. This is a Mastaba card, and when you play this card, you exile up to 2 cards from your hand or discard pile. And for each card you exile, you gain 2 more points of influence. This is another thing that can be helpful for when you're trying to raise your influence score. Right now we have 11, which is pretty good, but later, especially later in other levels of the game, you're going to need 50 or 60 points of influence. So this can be really helpful then, but it does start to whittle down your deck, which can hurt you in the long run. So for this one, I don't want to exile any cards right now, so I'm going to click no thanks. I'm going to hit in turn to get more cards. So this is another special card. This is the Blessing Forest, which when you play it, you gain +5 influence, and then it's exiled. So we're just going to play that now. We're going to spend all of our resources, dragging it from our hand to the play area. Yeah, we have 4 resources, so we can go ahead and spin those to advance our trade. All right, we're going to click in turn, and when this happens, our cards go from our discard pile back into the deck, And whenever that happens, then you get a chaos card. The chaos card is the little donkey card up in this area. You click on it and it'll say, are you sure you want to resolve this for 2 resources? So we're gonna put all of our resources and warriors up here, and we definitely want to resolve this because if we go the full, each turn we go with the chaos card in play, we lose 1 point of resource. 1 point of influence, sorry. So we're gonna hit resolve on that, and it goes away and takes some of our resources. Now, for this turn, we can either, we need 5 resources to replace this mission card. Another thing we can do is keep on buying cards from the market to expand our deck, and then make the time between each chaos card longer, because it takes longer to get through the deck. So one of my favorite cards is this persistent gain 1 resource, but it's 5. You gain 1 resource at the beginning of each turn, but it is 5 resources and we only have 4. So instead, I'm going to click the warrior, where you gain 1 resource and 1 influence. So I'm going to buy that, and then I'm also going to buy another resource card. You can buy 2 cards from the market each turn, depending on how many resources you have. So we're going to end the turn. This time we have all resources, so we're going to put them up here. And we're going to use 5 of our 6 resources to progress in the game. We're going to hover over this. All right, this time we need to spend 6 resources to spawn Unite in Egypt under King Narmer. So we'll click in turn, get some of our cards. All right, this looks like a lot of influence cards. Again, we don't need influence right now, and we're doing pretty good in the amount of influence we have. So I'm actually just going to buy 1 more of the warrior cards this turn, leave these in my hand, and just end the turn. All right, this starts us over 1 more time. We're going to move all of our resources and influence gains up to here. We're going to click on our failure to predict chaos card. We're going to resolve it for 3 resources, and then we're going to use these 3 to buy 2 more resource cards. This is really just kind of a strategy point. I'm just trying to build our deck so we're not getting as many chaos cards, and we have more chances to get more resources to advance our mission card. All right, so in turn, resource. Again, we don't need any of these. We don't need any more influence right now. So I'm going to click in turn, and that way my resources carry over so that we're saving up to continue that mission card. All right, there we go. These are all resources. All right, and that means we have exactly 6, so we can complete this card, and that means that this mission card has been fully completed. All right, so to show the next turn, you actually get another mission card. You place it here, and it snaps up to your mission area, and you get another card. So yeah, that is basically all you need to know about the Hemut card game. For more information, you can also click this question mark button, and it tells you exactly what happens in each area. But yeah, thank you for watching this video, and happy learning.